Hi, I'm Jim O'Brien. I'm the National Sales Manager for Sakura of America. I've been drawing and painting for fun since I was 3 or 4 years old. Art is very relaxing and fun. I'm very excited to demonstrate a brand new mixed media technique using amazing 3D pens that paint like a brush. And for today's demonstration, I'm going to use a desert scene. So you can see, here's the scene that I chose. It's the Sonoran Desert near Tucson, and some of the objects were actually from photographs. We start with a mountain range and 3 main cacti, along with some shrubs. But basically, let me show you how we started the painting. With an acrylic underpainting, all the details are done with Glaze and Souffle pens. I used a Sakura Sumo Grip pencil to do a pencil sketch, just doing the main mountain line and the cacti. Then I painted with 3 colors, basically a pale blue, a light brown, and more of a yellow-green. The next step is I took the sepia pen and did the horizon line of the mountains. So let me just show you an example of that, what that looks like. You go very slow and carefully, and you can add some detail to the mountains. This is like a little rock here, so we're adding some detail as we go. This mountain goes down, and we've got another one that comes over here. And the horizon line will go along here. And I'll be adding craggy details. Another step that I do with the sepia is you have to create some terrain for the cactus, and also I created some rocks and objects in the foreground. I'll take the souffle green, and this will give you the highlight of the cactus. I'm going to do it here a little bit just to show. You can see the color, but it's still transparent. And you may have recalled on the original painting that I showed you that will actually dry very opaque and no longer be transparent. So souffle gets opaque as it dries. So we'll leave this as a little example, and then I'll go along to some of the other portions of the demonstration. The next color I used was a gray, and this is also glaze, and I used it to here create shadows in the mountains and adding depth, again more dimension with the gray. And I'll show you again when I'm completed with the demonstration on the finished work, but you get the idea how you can accent and create shadows. And here I want to do the branches for the shrubbery and create from really nothing. I had an image in my mind. Anyway, this is just an example. You can see how the lines are not like a regular pen line. I can actually make them thick or thin and create it like a painting effect. Now that is going to take a little time to dry. I'm going to kind of rush through it to show you what I did. But to highlight that and to go accent the branches, I added some royal blue. Again, here I'm mixing, but in the other painting I took time for things to dry. So you can do the shrubs and give that some time to dry. Now the final step in the painting, you can start to see that some of the souffle is getting lighter and more opaque. I decided to do the shrubs with this souffle orange, which right now it looks kind of glossy and almost brownish. It looks transparent, but again, I'm using it like paint to create the leaf effect and just the bunches of leaves you'd see. And when that dries, I'll show you the effect, and we'll talk about that. On the original drawing, you'll be able to see some of these effects that I've demonstrated just briefly. You can really start to see here how the souffle is getting dry. It's becoming more opaque. So let me switch to the other picture and talk about the results of the effects. So here's again the original drawing, and you can see now how the light green souffle is really standing out on all the cacti. And basically these other cacti I did here were just the green, and I waited for them to dry, and I made this one really small in the back, and you can see just a little bit of the blue and a little bit of orange to indicate shrubs, and I created some other rocks. But you can see how the orange souffle also went from sort of a transparent brown to a very, very opaque, pale pastel orange. So you can see how the details really stand out, and there is some depth to this. If I hold it in the light, you can see some of the different angles. You can see the depth of the glaze and souffle that is similar to other acrylic paintings. Now, one last step I did on this painting was I added some Craypaws white up here to indicate some fluffy clouds. I'll show you one more example that I did a number of years ago, and just to show you the effect again. This is a scene of, actually it's Lake Michigan, and again all I did was paint large green areas here, some brown and some blue here, but this tree trunk is a good example of, it was just pure light brown like in the desert scene, but I added the black, I added the souffle to give highlights, and added all the branches. So you can see it makes a very nice effect. Well, I hope you enjoyed this demonstration. You can really see how fun it is to use Glaze and Souffle pens over acrylic, and it's very easy. You're only limited by your imagination. So thank you very much.